Your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
On an absolutely beautiful night for football, we've got a tremendous rematch of last year's Class AA sectional final here in Monroe County as the Pittsford Panthers host the McQuaid Knights. What a beautiful night, folks. I am Bill Smith with Steve Sorensen. We got a matchup of two Class AA big kids here. These are big schools. These are big powers. Coach, it's very easy when talking about football. It's very easy to talk about the playmakers, and there are playmakers on both of these teams that we're going to talk about a lot. The quarterbacks, the running backs, guys that are going to touch the ball a lot. But let's dig right into the grunts. Let's dig in to two units that both of these teams are very proud of, and that's the offensive lines. You and I had the pleasure last week of seeing Pittsford and Hilton, and we saw, in a loss, certainly, that Pittsford offensive line play some really, really strong football.
Two huge offensive lines, actually. McQuaid pushing Edison all over the field last week. And then, yes, we had the honor of watching the Hilton-Pittsford game yet last week. And there was a point in that game where Pittsford went big and they went physical, and Hilton didn't have the answers. Now, Hilton did win the game, but when Pittsford went big and physical and we're just going between the tackles, it's really easy when you're, I won't say easy, but it's real nice when your center is 6'5", 305, and that's Nate Cole, the returning senior. and James Davis, who's also 6'2", 285. Those guys are just big gentlemen and can push people around.
Tail of the tape on your screen. It's one game in. McQuaid, big win last week against the combined Edison team. Number of city schools represented on that roster. Pittsford goes into Hilton, loses that one, but shows some solid points. Pittsford and McQuaid, in conversations we had this week with their coaches, and then through what you and I saw last week, are going to show a number of different things. And we'll talk about those number of different things in just a moment.
Right hand over your heart as we pay tribute to our nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Was just talking about a common key. We were talking about this earlier, both coaches kind of referring to similar mindsets kind of coming into this game. And a common theme that you and I saw in seeing this Pittsford team in person last week and seeing McQuaid on film are different looks, different sets, varying the offense. And in what Coach Bates from McQuaid referred to as a balanced attack and distributing the ball to a few different backs. John Harding is an elite runner in this conference, in this part of the world here. Allen Smith had a dynamite game last week. McQuaid has their weapons. Pittsford has their weapons. But they're going to show a lot of different things.
What's consistent with both teams is that what their coaches. It was interesting that their coaches, when they said their keys of the game, both used the word consistent. Both coaches used long, sustained drives. Both coaches talked about game management and eliminating the foolish penalties. But the way they're going to play the game, where it really breaks apart, is we're going to see Pittsford do a lot of different things and have some diversity on who's running the ball in different sets. McQuaid will do a lot of different things, and they're going to have a balanced attack. With Will DeMarco, who's got a great arm, especially moving to his right, we're going to see a little bit more throwing with McQuaid. But when Pittsford is running, you're going to see a lot of guys behind center, different guys under center, different guys running the ball. And we're gonna see some diversity there. So there's some similarities, and then at the same time, we're gonna see some diversity between the two teams.
Coach referred to it. We're gonna see some various signal callers for Pittsford. Pittsford last week against Hilton used Johnny Moore, Jackson Burness, and Sam Renica under center. Talking coaching staff in the pregame, we might see recent JV call-up Josh Shatters under center as well. That's one of those variety of looks moments that you could see here from this Pittsford team. History, we referred to this last week in the Hilton Pittsford game. History is a wonderful thing to reference. It really has no influence on what's going on here. But these two teams met last year in a real good sectional final game. McQuaid wins their fourth sectional title in a row. A five-peat is not something that Monroe County has seen. I'm not sure if they've ever seen it at this level. So Pittsford goes in, gives them a real good game. Last year, in the regular season, McQuaid's only loss was to this Pittsford team. These are two teams that know each other well. These are two teams with a little bit of history. Again, Coach, that type of history means nothing in high school athletics. Every season is its own thing. But this is a Pittsford team who is not intimidated by the four-time defending champs.
And that's the key right there. They're not intimidated. They're not going to be in awe of the team that's won 4 sectional titles in a row because they've played them tough, and they know they can be physical. Pittsburgh's got no reason to feel like they cannot compete here today and win the game. They have 100 pounds more on their offensive line than the offensive line that of McQuaid. I mean, we saw McQuaid push Edison around, and yet Pittsburgh's offensive line has got 100 pounds on those. They're 5 more than McQuaid. So it should be a very physical game up front, and the game within the game is going to be in the trenches.
Getting ready to kick off here, Dominic Sansone. We got a matchup. For those of you on fans of this part of the game, we got a matchup of 2 excellent kickers. We saw Philip Noyes last week, and we know Coach Molinas thinks really highly of him. He's a very talented kicker. On the other side, and you're about to see it right here, Dominic Sansone. This kid can launch the ball with his toe, and we are about to get underway here. Back deep, Joyner and Renica. Ball is tumbling end over end. Renika's going to take it, and off we go. Underway here from Pittsford. Renica runs into a tackle near the 25-yard line. That's where Pittsford, 23-yard line it appears. That's where Pittsford's going to start this game here on offense, beginning with a first down. Now a change here, as we're going to talk about the lineup here in just a moment. One of the more dynamic players of this Pittsford lineup is out this evening. Wide receiver senior Luke Fliss injuring his knee just yesterday. We were speaking to the coaching staff in pregame, and this is, we've kind of hit on this theme a couple different times. Variety of looks. They've had to create a couple different things in the last day just to make up for that. Moore's handoff goes inside. Joyner carries. Good solid gain on first down. He gets about 5. This will bring up second down.
No surprise. It's right over center, right between the guards, actually. And, again, this is going to be what Pittsburgh did last week when they were most successful, is running it right down the throat.
Big center Nate Cole. He will put the ball in play. We got Moore in the shotgun. Now a whistle. Not sure what the holdup here is. That last play went right at Owen Bagman.
Play clock.
For McQuaid. Very talented dual threat lineman. We'll see him on both the offensive line and the defensive line.
A lot of these players are two-way players. Pretty common in the high school game.
Give us a Joyner once again, and getting in the backfield with a nice tackle. Getting into that backfield was Zach Couch, junior linebacker, bursting through. No gain on that one. Brings up 3rd and 6. One thing we noticed in this game last week, I was about to get into the defensive look last week against the Edison team. This is a very fast McQuaid defense. This team gets to the ball and gets to it quickly. Moore. Give once again is to Joyner. Joyner trying to get to outside, and there's that speed from the defense. And coming off the end, Bagaman, coming through the middle, I should say, with the tackle.
Great defensive stand by the McQuaid Knights. Last week when we saw Pittsford versus Hilton, it was 4 linebackers, 4 linemen, 8 in the box. McQuaid comes out with 4 linemen, 3 linebackers, 4 D-backs, and they'll still be able to get penetration against a big offensive line. It's a great defensive stand by McQuaid.
Bagman's tackle right now forces a punt. Good boot in that one from Noyes. Collected near midfield. Getting into some space with a return of about 11 yards, but that's 11 needed yards. Brenton Palladino.
6'5", 170. You don't see that size on a punt return very often.
Good movement from that kid, too. There is some yellow laundry on the field. Officials discussing the situation here.
Penalties on McQuaid.
Hold on the return may have opened up a little bit of that space. Going to see what Pittsford wants to do here. I think they're going to back him up 10 yards, and we're going to get a first down. So we're going to get a look at the junior quarterback for McQuaid, Will DeMarco.
With a traditional number 80.
That's an unusual one for a quarterback. That's a fun one. Harding gets a start behind him. Harding, the returning All Greater Rochester running back. Motion from Mayer. Here's Meyer, I should say, going into space. He's got some room, trying to get around the edge. Gets dragged down by Zach Gerby, but a big gain from Owen Mayer.
Mayer was in the slot and just took that handoff from behind the line.
Here's another look at him. Meyer in motion, takes that right there, gets around the edge. This is a kid that can really move.
Some great blocking downfield.
And the tackle down there was Burness with Gerby. Now Harding's going to bounce to the left. Got held up going right. He's going to bounce around. He's going to go in for the touchdown.
One of the things that Pittsford's coach mentioned to us before the game was the ability for McQuaid to score very quickly, and we just witnessed that.
In watching film of last week, there were very few sustained drives by McQuaid based on what Coach just said. They can score and score quickly. Sansone backs up here. Ball is snapped, ball is down, ball is up. Ball is good. And quickly, 2.5 into this one, McQuaid finds themselves up 7-0. Here's another look at the touchdown. Harding got held up moving to his right there, kind of the middle of the line, bursts around the left side, gets outside, couple of nice blocks downfield. He gets his way in.
JP Gianforte, 2 plays in a row where he's done excellent, has excellent blocks down the field.
That's some good vision from the McQuaid senior. Ran into a wall, kind of right where he hit the line of scrimmage. Danced around, finds his way in. Harding with a touchdown last week against Edison. Again, coming off of an All-Greater Rochester AA All-Star last year. Harding an excellent, excellent running back and a senior captain of this team. So we're going to see Sansone put a foot into one. We're going to see Joyner and Redica back. Pittsford looking to answer right here. Sansone's kick's going to tumble over to Joyner. He's going to pick it up near the 7-yard line. Finding a little bit of room in the middle. Seam gets his way out to the 30. This will be a nice start for Pittsford. They'll take over 1st and 10.
That's key. But McQuaid started their drive at Pittsford's 45. It's very important for Pittsford to get a sustained drive, a couple first downs at minimum, to make sure that Pittsford's going the length of the field instead of a short field like they did last drive.
We referenced them in the pregame. The starting offensive line of Winter, Thurley, Cole, Cohen, and Davis did a real good job last week. Cole, the big senior center especially. James Davis on that outside had a real good game last week as well. He was singled out by his coaches in the pregame when we talked. So now we're going to see Burness behind center. He gets the shotgun snap. Handoff goes to Joyner, who goes ahead, plugs his way for 3.5 yards. So we saw this last week, Coach. Pittsford would sort of alternate possessions. And the conversation we had today, we may see upwards of 4 different guys, but we've already seen 2.
And it was with Burness behind the center, under center last week, in which they had their best drive against the Hilton defense.
Redica split wide. Burness takes the shotgun snap. He's going to run it himself. Looks left. Pushes his way into a tackler. Gets held up. You see a block kind of shoved down there at the end with Zach Couch, but Pillai makes the tackle, or the hold up, as it were.
It's manageable now. It's 3rd and 3. You're not going to see Pittsburgh throw the ball that much, so those short 3rd downs are important.
Liam Brett checks in. Verniker returns to the huddle as Burness brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Burness in a split I formation here. And now a timeout from Pittsford. That lineup right there might look a little out of sorts.
It did. There's some confusion in the backfield there.
We're going to take the shortest of breaks Come join us here after the timeout, folks. 8:01 to play in the first quarter, and you're watching all this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to
Back live, this third down play is about to snap. Burness takes the snap. He's looking to run right himself behind his blockers. Gets stopped behind the yard to gain. I think he's going to be short by a couple of yards.
He only gained 1 on that. McQuaid did bring in the extra linebacker, had 8 in the box, did a great job of stuffing that.
In near the tackle at the end there was Couch. Now a short 4th and 2. We'll see what Coach Mullins wants to do here. Inside his own 40. Looks like they've got a package on the field to go for it. And the give is an inside handoff from Renica, and a big push comes through, and across the 40-yard line, getting the first down are the Panthers.
Panthers. Excellent job pushing the pile. He was stuffed. He was a good yard short. But the big man up front.
Renica was under center. Gave that inside handoff. Here is a look at that Pittsford line pushing and pushing and pushing.
That's huge for Pittsford.
Good hard-nosed football right there. Renica still under center. Gives to the deep back, Joyner. Joyner gets met at the line of scrimmage.
Tough yards through there with McQuaid doing a nice job stuffing it again.
Wilson was in there on the tackle with Couch. Owen Meyer there near the end as well.
Gain of 1.5 yards.
Second and 8, and now Renica, the third quarterback we've already seen. The first one we've seen under center. Renica is going to keep it himself. Fake the handoff, gets to the left side. But the speed from that McQuaid defense kind of ran him to the edge. He did get a yard, but there was a penalty at the end.
I think we're going to see a late hit against McQuaid on this.
Renica did end up getting about 3 yards on that run. We'll see what the call is. This is a personal foul. It looks like that late hit is going to be the call. This is going to result in a Pittsford first down.
Renica was already on the ground when the Knight player decided to land on him.
Coach, something that you and I have talked about, and something that we heard from the different coaching staffs and conversing on different parts of the game here was Pittsford needs these sustained drives, and a couple of first downs. Now they're in enemy territory. This is exactly what they were looking for.
It's a little bit of the field position battle, but also just run the clock. And
Renica gives to Joyner. Joyner looking to push over the left side. Following his blocks, he does get about 3 yards.
Yep. Boy, he hits it hard, though, doesn't he?
He hit, yes. Hit the line hard. Joyner, a 5'9", 210 running back.
4-year varsity starter at running back for Pittsford.
The point of the stacked eye. Renica looking to run. He's pitching to Joyner on the option there. And there's that swarming McQuaid defense in the backfield. Near there was Brenton Palladino.
Showing their speed that Pittsford talked about in their scouting report of McQuaid.
Xavier Cox was in there as well. This is going to bring up a long third down. Renica probably made the right call. He was going to lose yard without the pitch.
Yeah, it was just well defended by McQuaid. They stretched it out. Had Renica and Joyner both covered.
3rd and 10, Renica under center with this deep set eye. Stacked eye, I should say. He's going to run the outside himself, slips, recovers, manages to get about 3 yards. Maybe 2 yards, as I see the spot there. Regardless, this is going to be a 4th and 8 inside the McQuaid 40, but still a 4th and 8 coming.
Pittsford brings in number 5, Shatters. He's the boy that came up from the JV team.
Shatters seeing his first action on this young season.
Looks like he might be the designated thrower.
Shatters takes the snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking to throw. Fires. Got a man. Caught.
There you go.
And this is close, but I think Pittsford's going to pick up a first down. Timmy Lewis with the reception.
Rolling to his left, throwing with his right. And threw a really nice ball that only the Pittsford wide receiver could catch.
Now, an unfortunate turn of events here if you're a Pittsford fan. There is a false start. Didn't see the yellow, but I see the official making the signal, and we're going to have a replay of 4th down.
This goes under the category of the silly fouls that Pittsford said they had to avoid.
Now we are a brief 8 minutes in on the clock to this first quarter, and we are seeing the 4th young man under center.
Well, I guess that very often.
I guess 3 have been behind center, as I said before. But the 4th man taking a snap here, and Shatters is going to take this 4th down snap once again. He's got a 3-receiver set, and now Pittsford wants the timeout once again as they try to consider what their options are here.
And I think they just changed their mind. And I think it's a good decision. Punt the ball. Try to pin them inside their 10 if you're lucky.
I think in the possession-to-possession sort of, I don't know, flow of a game, there were a couple of good things on that Pittsford drive that they can maybe be emboldened by as they try to flip the field here.
They made an important 4th down by pushing the pile. Just that's all want and desire right there, because Joyner was stuffed, and they were able to convert on the 4th down. Shatters coming in, throwing a really nice ball, even though it didn't count because of the penalty. But the sophomore comes in, a former JV player a week ago, comes in and throws a really nice ball. They've got some pieces here to play with.
Harding back with Palladino. High punt. This may flip that field if Pittsford gets a bounce. They do get a Pittsford bounce, and they're going to down this ball inside the 10.
We saw that last week. Noyes can play. He can punt, and it's got a lot of hang time. Hangs way up in there.
Now, on this short season, 1 possession here in this game and then their game last week, McQuaid has not faced a long field like this. We know they've got the weapons. We know they've got this offensive line that's very talented. But they've not looked at 91 yards yet on this short season.
They were so dominant last week. I think we were talking about it earlier. Edison didn't even cross midfield. So it makes it real easy. So Pittsburgh's got to make them work, though.
Harding, the deep back, 3-receiver set here. DeMarco at the line. DeMarco takes the snap. Pitches to Harding. Harding dancing around the backfield, trying to find a hole. Can't quite. Swarmed and taken down by the Panther defense. In on that tackle was Bradley Pollard.
Here's a great penetration by the Pittsburgh defense in the backfield.
Here's a look at the McQuaid offensive starters. Among the starters, we should probably say. DeMarco under center. Dynamite 1-2 pairing of Harding and DeSmith.
Yeah, they're dominant, Harding and DeMarco.
Here's a handoff to Harding. Harding bouncing, going left. Once again, finding something out of nothing.
You see the talent that he has right there, because that looked like they were going to get him for a loss.
And it looks like dinged up on the play. I don't want to hypothesize, but it looked like the player that was shaken up was Jax Burness. We hope that young man's okay. Here's a look at the resting O-line from these Panthers. That is Jax Burness. Jax Burness, one of the offensive and defensive weapons for this Pittsford team, someone that this Panther team really relies on. Did some good things at quarterback last week, scored their only touchdown.
One of the 4 players who go under center for Pittsford.
Trainer taking him off the field. We hope that young man is okay, as McQuaid will be staring at a 3rd and 4 inside their own 20.
A big play right here for Pittsford. Able to stop them and get them off the field, that would be big. Something that hasn't happened to McQuaid yet this season.
DeMarco's going to roll to his right. Throwing, finding a man, but not quite connecting with Allen Nesmith. That would have been Nesmith's first touch of the day, and this brings up a 4th and 4.
McQuaid will kick. No, he's on the defensive play. He's a kicker, he's a punter, he's a defensive player.
So in the field position battle, it is possible that the punt from Pittsford is going to work out here. It looks like Sansone will punt from his own, right around his own 5 or 6 yard line. Renica back to receive this punt inside McQuaid territory. Pittsford hoping to get a good start here.
There was a penalty on the play that Pittsford did decline.
Don't give this McQuaid team the opportunity to do that again. That all goes without saying.
Renica back to receive.
Snapped. Oh, and getting the backfield, just getting that away. Good deep kick. This is a nice punt. Renica fields it at his own 30. He had set up inside the 50, and he's going to get dropped around the 36-yard line. Still a good drive start, but what a punt from Dominic Sansone.
That was huge. There is a breeze coming from that direction, but that was huge.
Like every drive I've ever hit, I have to give credits to the wind.
And the tackle, great form tackle on that punt right there.
There's another look at the speed from, this is special teams, but we've talked about the speed of the McQuaid defense, but they're on special teams. There's that speed getting downfield, that hang time, pushing Renica back. They were able to get there.
And Renica's not easy to bring down. He's super fast, elusive, and yet 1v1 tackle.
And Renica will be under center with the stacked eye once again. Gives to the up back, pushing in maybe a yard or two. Hayes Denning getting the ball on that one. Denning gets two
very tough yards.
Hard fought. Renica once again under center. He's going to give to Joyner the deep back. Joyner runs into the pile. What Joyner has not been able to do just of yet, and he is certainly capable, when he meets that traffic, he's not been able to bounce left or right and sort of break away from it. That talent is there, but we haven't seen it tonight.
And if he were to bounce it, the speed of McQuaid is just so tough to get the edge.
So now a 3rd and 10. We've got Moore back in. He fakes, moves to his left. The lefty looks to get away, breaks a tackle. He looked to throw, then he pulled it down, thought better of it as he's swarmed. Finishing that, I believe, was Zach Couch. In there was Xavier Cox as well. Moore did a good job of shrugging off that first tackler, but then he just ran into a swarm of white shirts.
And it's the speed of McQuaid. It's so evident.
Noise on to punt. Harding and Palladino back. Noise with a high fluttering kick. Fair catch signaled and received by Palladino. So after a trio of punts sort of back and forth, McQuaid finds themselves with a drive started around their own 38-yard line.
Playing the field position game right here for the last 3 drives.
One of the keys that Coach Molinitz mentioned specifically was stopping the known weapons of this McQuaid team. DeMarco Harding. Now, Harding has the touchdown today. DeMarco hasn't done much with his legs or his arm. Flag comes in.
A procedure foul against McQuaid. They had 12 on the field. It's an illegal substitution.
Not under Canadian rules this evening. That 12th guy will have to leave the field.
Good reference.
I do my best, Coach. Harding, the deep back here. 2 receivers set. DeMarco under center. DeMarco gives to Harding. Harding looks to bounce left. Hops over a low tackler. Great athleticism as he gets...
Gains 9 on that run. 2nd and 6.
On a 1st and 15, that is a tremendous first down run. And the closing seconds are going to tick away on this first quarter. Right now, the Harding touchdown is the difference. He scored about 2.5 minutes into this first quarter. We are still there. 7-0. McQuaid is your score. We're going to break here from Pittsford Sutherland High School. You're watching Pittsford and McQuaid on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events. Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050. Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game.
Start of the second quarter, DeMarco under center. Turns, puts it in Harding's belly. Harding's going to bounce outside yet again. He bounced inside there, tried to go outside, but bounced away from the tackle.
McQuaid does a great job maintaining their blocks because Harding can bounce it. It's something I'm sure they're just used to Harding doing.
So now a 2nd and 5 coming up. Ethan Langstein checking in for this 3rd down play.
Big 3rd down.
Pollard did a real nice job on the defensive line on that last play. DeMarco dropping back, now under pressure, tries to escape, and he's brought down. Lost a couple yards, throwing him down at the end. Hayes Denning sort of finishing up. Great pressure from the Pittsford defensive line, a unit that Coach Bates knows you cannot sleep on. He mentioned them in our lead into this. That brings up another 4th down.
DeMarco went back, looked right. I think he was going to go left the entire time. They brought Harding out wide, and he went back to Harding, but Pittsford just got there before he had the chance to unload the throw.
Quoting Coach Bates, and the punt is blocked. Getting in there was Luke Connors. He got a piece of it. Now, don't mind those McQuaid hands pointing. That is a blocked punt. That can't be a turnover to McQuaid. Pittsford will have the ball here. Officials are talking about it, though. Unless I miss somebody taking possession of it, then fumbling.
Throwback to Leon Lett.
Exactly. Pittsford first down. We were just talking in the break. The crowd has filled this stadium nicely over the course of the first quarter. This is a packed house, and they are ready to get loud now as Pittsford will take over at around the McQuaid 36-yard line. Here is a look at what is causing my feet to shake. The stands and press box swaying ever so gently from the student section here doing their thing.
Without saying it, it's obvious it's a whiteout here for Pittsford tonight, and the students have shown up in this first week of the school year.
Now the Pittsford offense looking to give them something to get excited about here.
Short field.
Morel Cleggett in the backfield. Offset beat next to, I should say, Shatters. Shatters with Joyner behind him. Give it to Joyner. Joyner looking to barrel ahead, puts his shoulder down and gets about a yard. Tackle was Begman.
I like Shatters going out there right up to the first down. He's their best threat to throw. We haven't seen Pittsford throw on first down yet, but the threat needs to be there to keep McQuaid honest defensively.
Unofficially, I think they're 0 for 0. The one pass completion was brought back on a penalty.
It was, but it was a nice throw.
Oh, indeed. Shatters with Morel Cleggett in the backfield once again. Joyner with him. Puts his man in motion. Shatters takes the snap, turns to his right, looked to throw, didn't quite have a handle on it, and he gets dragged down.
He was going to throw, but it bobbled in his hands, and he couldn't get it out of him.
Shamir Bridges, one of the senior captains of this McQuaid team, bursts into the backfield to disrupt all of this. Right there, Shatters didn't quite get a clean handle on the snap.
Looked like they had set up for a wide receiver screen to Preston. He went in motion, and they were already blocking in front of him for the throw.
Now a big third down play inside McQuaid territory. Shatters back, undoubtedly a passing down. Shatters is going to roll to his right. Fires downfield, had a man, overshot him. Couldn't find Renica. Shatters showing some arm strength with that throw, but he couldn't bring it down to Renica.
Looked like he could have settled his feet and might have helped in his accuracy.
Now it looks like Noyes is...
But it was definitely a strong throw for that sophomore.
Noyes walking on for what will be a punt here on 4th and 13.
Wind-aided punt by Noyes. This thing might just go in orbit before it comes down.
This could be fun to watch here, folks. A lot of respect for the punt game here from your announcers. Bangs it up, tumbling over. This is going to drop at the 3-yard line and bounce into the end zone for the touchback. Going the other way a short spell ago, Pittsford was fortunate to get a very friendly bounce that set up McQuaid inside the 10, and McQuaid will get a start here at the 20 as the ball bounces into the end zone. So neither team with any real momentum for those of you believing in such a thing out there. Uncle Mo is not on the side of either one of these teams. Pittsford came up with a real big stop on the last McQuaid possession, not able to do much with the ensuing blocked punt, which gave them real nice field position. McQuaid once again gets a start here to try to extend their lead.
McQuaid did a real nice job scoring early in that first drive, but Pittsford has come back and actually settled the game down.
DeMarco, handoff. Trying to bounce away from contact yet again. Harding. In there on the tackle was Thurley.
John Harding just keeps on working. He just said he's not going down on the first touch.
Kid's feet never stop. Now in the scouting leading into this, impressive in their last outing was Allen Smith, who we've not seen with the ball in his hands yet. Harding doing some dynamite work. DeMarco fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, fires, finds his man, caught. This is going to be a first down.
Nice play by McQuaid. They set up what looked like it was an obvious running play, but rolled out and hit the tight end 10 yards down the field.
Gein with a good route, turn, ball was right there. Four receivers split wide, two on either side. DeMarco in the backfield. Gets the snap, looking to pass. DeMarco sets his feet in the middle, finds his man, but not coming up with it. Missing that one was Owen Meyer.
Meyer right down the seam. He was open.
DeMarco using all of that 6-foot frame in the middle, seeing over everything, finds Meyer. Here's a look at it. Nice cut right there from Meyer. Can't quite find it.
I certainly would like that play back. He made a nice cut right down the middle.
On both the last two possessions, this one and the previous Pittsford possession, we've seen two quarterbacks make two very strong throws and come up with nothing. DeMarco gives to Harding. Harding bursts through the line, bursts one man to beat there, and he does get dragged down. Harding with those quick feet bouncing through, picks up 11 yards in a first.
McQuaid increasing the pace right here.
Give this to Harding, going to the right, looking to get to the edge. He shrugs off a tackle, does get to the sideline, and then gets bumped out of bounds. At the end there was Zach Gerby. Here's another look at it. Puts his foot and then just dances to the right. Gets around the outside edge.
McQuaid did not huddle before that play. They just went right up the line. Caught Pittsford a little bit unsettled and not ready for that play.
Harding just bowled into that tackle, too. He got shoved out of bounds but stayed on his feet. DeMarco going to pitch it out to Harding. Harding finding some space, cutting through. That is not Harding. My apologies. That was Meyer in the backfield.
Set up the screen. Quaid coming up much quicker and much harder right now in this drive. They look like they're ready to try to score.
JPG and 40 out wide, closest to our position. Meyer just flanking the line. Smith in motion. Give us to Harding. Swarmed by the Pittsford defense. Good penetration on that one.
Close to a first down.
Timmy Lewis and Deshaun Preston were both there at the end.
Looks like he got it.
He does pick it up. A sustained drive. One of the early themes we talked about here.
Nesmith was a big part of the win last week for McQuaid. He hasn't been, but he right there that last play, going in motion, drew a lot of Pittsburgh players towards him.
DeMarco rolling to his right, firing, finding his man into space, getting inside the 10-yard line. Palladino finds his way in.
That's a target, 6'5", 170.
Gerby brings him down. Now McQuaid's still not huddling, but they are taking their time kind of moving the play call in. DeMarco's troops have got what they need. Offensive line now set. Meyer with Harding in the backfield. Meyer into motion, and now a whistle.
Illegal motion.
An illegal motion or even a false start if somebody got moving early. McQuaid will get a first and goal from the 13-yard line. We are inside 6 minutes to play. Still only 7-0 McQuaid, but McQuaid moving the ball right now. Clock moving inside 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
And this is more of the balanced attack that McQuaid was talking about. Coach Bates was talking about being more balanced. We're seeing a little bit more throwing from McQuaid, and they're successful.
DeMarco keeps it himself. Gets dragged down.
A little bit of a loss in that.
I think a very short loss. Thoroughly announced over from the voice from above as the tackler on that one. And now a 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line.
Harding lines up as a wide receiver.
DeMarco looking to throw. Gets it up there. Not able to bring it down was Harding.
Whether he's running the ball or he's out lining up as a wide receiver, he's the focal point for McQuaid.
Found his way into space there as well. Easy for me to say from up here, but a little lower on that one. Harding may even take that in.
Tough tackle one-on-one in open space.
Now a huge 3rd down if you're Pittsford.
This might be 4-down territory for McQuaid no matter what, but still.
DeMarco's going to throw. Pitches it out to Harding. Harding looking to get around the left edge. Now here's a flag that comes in. Harding dances through all the tacklers and goes in. But let's see what this flag is going to be.
I think there was a block in the back. I don't think this is going to count.
An impressive run from Harding, dancing around 3 different tacklers there. But I believe, as Coach signaled, this is going to come back.
They're going to call holding, but I think we'll see it here.
Here's a look right
there. It's in the back.
Right
it's
there. There you go.
Yeah. Referee, nice call. He's on top of that the whole time. Now we're going to go 3rd and goal from the 23.
An impressive piece of running gets erased. And now a long 3rd and goal is what McQuaid will face here.
Harding in the backfield. I got a little limp as he ran out there.
Weber snaps it. DeMarco back to pass.
Great pressure
in the backfield. Fires into the end zone, and it's knocked away. Incomplete.
Great coverage.
I might have said that too soon. That ball seemed to still be there. Palladino couldn't come down with it.
Gerby with the coverage.
A great one-on-one battle there between Gerby and Palladino. Here's a look at it. Good movement from DeMarco.
It's in Palladino's hands, but Gerby gets in there and just fights.
Good defense.
Palladino, 6'5", using all of that. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
I believe the reference was 4-down territory a couple of minutes ago, and it appears to be the case. DeMarco in the shotgun with Nesmith. DeMarco drops back, dropping, foot in the ground, fires into the end zone, into traffic, off the hands, and it goes incomplete. Renica got his hands on it, and it bounces away. Turnover on downs. Pittsford takes over.
Great fight by Pittsford there.
Now, at the sake of an obvious point, McQuaid has had some drives get stalled. Pittsford has done a tremendous job of making those couple of big stops when they needed to. This is an important one right here. As you see the Pittsford schedule, they come off a loss last week versus Hilton.
It's the gauntlet right now for Pittsford.
4 huge games to start this season. McQuaid, an always talented Aquinas team. UPrep is excellent. No rest for the weary in AA here in Monroe County. Now a little conversation happening here as Pittsford now getting set here. Officials working on something. There is a technical issue here.
With the play clock.
Play clock will now be kept on the field as we kind of get ready here. Pittsford set to go here. It looks to be Jackson Burness now back in. Fires, finds Renica. Bullied out of bounds by a pair of McQuaid tacklers.
That's your first down throw that we haven't seen from Pittsburgh, but it's effective because they're so committed to the run. And now they have a sophomore in Shatters who can make that pass.
I need to correct my last statement there. That was 5, not 9. Shatters with an excellent pass. Shatters in the backfield. Second and short here for Pittsford. Give it to Joyner. Joyner found the hole. Got one step and then thrown back. Owen Begman with a real nice tackle.
It wasn't a clean handoff, so it wasn't able to explode the way I'm sure Joyner is accustomed to.
Now a 3rd and 4. It was impressive there how the hole did open but then closed very quickly, courtesy of these McQuaid Knights. Shatters in the backfield. One receiver split wide, 2 tight end set. Moore, I should say, gives to Joyner.
They're penetrating so fast. McQuaid. We may see Pittsford in the second half have to throw more just because McQuaid's doing such a great job of defending the run.
Joyner with no room to work there, as Coach just said, and this is going to bring up a 4th and long. Noise back there to kick it away. Harding and Palladino back to receive. Noise with the snap, puts his right foot into it. Strong kick. Settles into Harding's hands, and Harding gets thrown down. Nice tackle over there from Eric Chen.
Eric Chen is flying in there. Good punt, better coverage, and a sick tackle.
We are, Coach Sorensen and I, proud Buffalo Bills fans. That was very Tasker-esque right there. There's another look at it. Chen.
Just darting through. And that's huge because it puts McQuaid at their own 35 with 2:24 to go.
And it was a nice play on an excellent player. Now DeMarco under center. Turns. Handoff is to Harding, who gets mad at the line of scrimmage and dropped. I think there was a whistle before that ball came out. Thurley in there, Brad Pollard in there, 2 seniors.
Pittsford has really struggled trying to tackle Harding in the backfield like that, and yet they came through there nicely.
Thurley and Pollard, both seniors, both 6'1", 220, and 200 respectively. To the line, ready to go.
They threw out of this set last time.
Bryce Weber, snap is to DeMarco. DeMarco around some pressure, finds his man into space. Shoved out of bounds is Dan Geen. Geen with his second big reception of this game, and he gets a McQuaid first down.
I believe they call them down inbounds. They'll set the markers, and then there the clock is going to run.
Winding the clock right now. Whistle from the officials.
We're going to reset the clock.
That's two first down receptions from Dan Geen, the senior wide receiver. Now DeMarco, shotgun set, 3 receivers, all split to our side here. Fires into the middle, incomplete. Couldn't quite find Nesmith there. And now a 2nd and 10. Ball just inside Pittsford territory. 2 receiver wide, 2 in the backfield. Putting his man in motion.
Legal procedure again.
Meyer went in motion. Heard some amateur officials in the stands, as soon as Meyer went in motion, start saying that was not something a football team should do.
The technical term.
Yes, very much so. It's like a playbook. So 2nd and 14. DeMarco in the shotgun, 5 receiver set here, pro-style offense. DeMarco turns, fires, finds his man. He's got Harding.
Harding gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Pushed out of bounds, clock stops, gets back to around the original line of scrimmage, maybe just a tick more.
Maybe 3rd and 9.
So a 3rd and a long 9. We'll meet in the middle. DeMarco once again.
5 wideouts.
5 wide receivers. Line holds, now flushed a little bit right. He's left, I should say, and he's got his man into space, wide open. Xavier Cox. A huge gain for McQuaid, 1st down. Renica finishes the job there, shoving him out of bounds. Here's another look at it.
Pittsford's run rushed only 3. Now late 4th, but they just dropped, leaving him wide open.
Cox found a soft spot right there. DeMarco once again with 5 receivers. Looked to fake his throw, and now he's running through the middle himself.
Designed
Brought down after a gain of 11. This is going to be another 1st down. I might have spoken too soon.
McQuaid called the timeout there.
So McQuaid timeout, and the result of the play is a 1st down. DeMarco took 1 shoulder shrug to his left, and that was enough to move the defense just a little, and he found a huge hole through the middle. Now the schedule for McQuaid. No days off in AA. McQuaid with the big win last week here against Pittsford. Next week they head to Fairport before they host Rush Henrietta. They will see the Hilton Cadets after a meeting with Penfield in a few weeks. That'll be a big one in AA. McQuaid at Hilton on October 6th. They will close with Aquinas in a huge Section 5 matchup every year. McQuaid and Aquinas to end the season.
And there it is. 4 consecutive Class AA championships, 53-11 the last 6 seasons.
And they had gone 40-plus years without a sectional title.
You look back 5 years ago, I think it was Aquinas that was dominating at that point. McQuaid has flexed and taken the reins.
This run has ended against Bennett out of Buffalo the last couple of years. McQuaid looking to get over that hump. DeMarco now another whistle before the snap. And it looks like Pittsford calls timeout. Little tennis match going on here with the timeouts. We're going to take a timeout of our own. 3rd one you got there. Folks, stay with us. Under a minute to play here in the 2nd quarter. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is huge.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Looking at the Pittsford defensive huddle down there. Jaden Morel Cleggett there, number 31, very talented linebacker. He'll get a couple carries here and there as a running back. Good two-way player here for this Pittsford team, the junior. As McQuaid comes in with a 1st and goal just inside the 10. They are at the 9-yard line. 5 receivers once again for the junior quarterback, DeMarco. DeMarco's going to take it himself. He runs through the middle, gets near the goal line, no signal.
Yard short.
Clock is running under a minute. Now there's a whistle.
McQuaid's just spreading Pittsford out wide. And then they got their big quarterback. Just DeMarco finding just some gaps.
Condis, Jones, Raymond, the captain. You're seeing some of these big body offensive linemen right here. And we talked about it right at the beginning of this, the offensive line play from both of these teams, McQuaid especially last week, just opening up holes all day long. When you've got an offensive line that can do that, and as you just mentioned, you spread everybody wide, you're going to create an awful lot of room for that quarterback, Will DeMarco.
Wouldn't be shocked if they do it a 3rd straight time.
Now, a big play for both teams. We were talking in the break. McQuaid's going to get the football after halftime, putting this score here on the board, 13-14-0 heading into halftime, barring a under a minute score from Pittsford, and getting the ball after halftime. There's a huge swing here.
Yeah, with McQuaid getting the ball to start the second half, it's almost like 2.5 possession lead if they were to score here. Pittsford's got to find a way to keep them out of the end zone at minimum.
Second one quickly to the line. McQuaid, DeMarco under center. He's going to barrel ahead himself, trying to get a push.
Doesn't.
It's
a second effort.
Got a Meyer push there. I won't say Bush push. Any Notre Dame fans out there?
Oh, they gave it to him.
Late signal comes in. Touchdown, McQuaid.
Looks like Pittsford had it initially.
Here's another peek at it. You're going to see Meyer come in here with the push, also shoving their couch. He definitely got there. DeMarco.
Two running backs pushing from behind.
So DeMarco barrels in from 1 yard out. Sansone on to kick. Ball snap, ball is down, ball is up. Ball is good, and with 28 seconds until halftime, McQuaid has extended their lead to 14-0. DeMarco with the 1 yard plunge. And now they will kick it away to Pittsford. Definitely been some silly moments in the history of this game. Pittsford doesn't want that 14-0 halftime deficit. Looking for some fireworks here heading into the locker room. Look at Pittsford coaching staff, Coach Molinet. Sorry, that's McQuaid right there. That's Coach Bates. That's your 4-time defending AA champions right there.
Strong student section from McQuaid here also tonight. They always travel well.
Sansone will step and put a right foot into one here. Tumbling kick finds its way to the hands of Renica. Renica slips and then dragged down.
We're seeing them slipping a lot right now, and it's a time of year. And if you haven't not been on the turf, whether it's a soccer game or a football game, the time of year where it starts to get cold real quick, you'll get that moisture, that dew, evening dew out there, and it is very slippery. And you can see the sheen right around inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. It's tough to maintain footing now.
Meyer certainly took advantage of that with a big tackle. Now Pittsford looking to maybe get a late spark here. Moore's handoff goes inside. Joyner with the carry once again. And it looks like Pittsford, they do rush to the line.
They're just not going to throw it in the case of a turnover. They don't want to.
Moore gives to Joyner. Joyner with a little bit of space. Joyner out into space. Now there's 2 seconds left.
Going to stop the clock for the first down and then wind it.
Clock is running. And
that's the half.
That will be halftime. Joyner puts a little bit of a spark into this crowd. This crowd is ready to come alive. But your score at halftime, the McQuaid Knights 14, Pittsford Panthers 0. We're going to break here from Pittsford Sutherland High School. Folks, we got a good second half coming your way here in a Class AA matchup, Section 5's finest. And you'll come back and see all that right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
He's already found the seam, and he's already going to go. Lowry crossing midfield. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Hilton. It is to Lowry. Lowry's got some room, and he breaks through, and he is going to go. 10, 5, touchdown, Cadets.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know, from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy, put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures, and it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Feel like your game...
Welcome back to Pittsford Sutherland High School. We are still at halftime here of this AA matchup between the Pittsford Panthers hosting the McQuaid Knights. Your halftime score, McQuaid leads 14-0. A late touchdown in that second quarter gives us our score. And now joining us here in the booth, as you look at the dope in the hat and the gentleman to his right, your left on the screen, I am Bill Smith with Mr. Patrick Irving, brand new athletic director here. What are we, about a month in?
Yeah, I'm in 3 weeks now.
Coming up on that 1 month anniversary. Congrats to you on that one, sir. And congrats on the gig. And honestly, the first thing I want to mention, you are here then, about a month into the gig. It's your first Friday Night Lights. It is a packed house. How does that feel?
It's been really great. We knew this was going to be a big game. We knew McQuaid was going to be a big crowd. But you can see over to our left here, we got a great student section. And they've really been out all week as our games and scrimmages have really started. We've had a great student representation all week long, so this doesn't surprise me at all.
What has, in your short tenure here, and just knowing, and I know you know Pittsford from your years in other districts and working in Monroe County.
I lived out here as well, too, for a long time, too.
So when this gig became yours, what's the first thought in your head? What is Pittsford Athletics in your head as you stepped into the job?
Well, there's a lot of things that define this department. I would say first and foremost, and the first thing I did is I wanted to meet people, and that's just going to be an ongoing process. So meeting kids, meeting coaches, getting out in the community has been my real priority, and because we want these games to be a real community atmosphere, and as you can see, they are. And so it's been going really well.
Now you were replacing someone who is long tenured, beloved. Stepping away from that shadow, what does that do to your stepping into this role?
You know what, Scott's been great. He's been available since I've been here. We talk a lot. He's built a great staff and a great department here, and so it's really been good to learn from him and working with our staff to start to build the future of Pittsford athletics. And I'm excited to do that with our community and our staff and our students.
You sort of touched on it, but speaking whether it's a specific or whether it's just a philosophical thing, what is a goal, either short-term, long-term, for Pittsford athletics going forward?
You know, that's a great question. We have strong numbers in all of our programs. I really want to take a deep dive into maybe where there's gaps, where we can try to work to build in some multi-sport athletes to really bring all of our programs up to where they're really healthy and our participation is really maximized.
Now I'm going to put you on we're going to put on our football analyst hat.
Okay.
We got a 14-0 deficit here.
Yeah.
We saw some strong points. We saw some stops. 14-0 deficit. What do the Panthers have to do here coming out of this halftime?
You know, we've been really pounding the ball a lot. If we can open up some holes here and keep the chains moving, we can put some points on the board. We've had some stops, like you said, on defense. We just can't give up those big plays here the second half.
It's a talented team across from you, but this is not a team to take lightly, this Pittsford team.
I completely agree. We got a lot of fight still in us, and we got a long season too. So hopefully we got a good second half here for the Panthers.
I want to thank you for coming up.
Yeah.
Plugging your program, being the voice of Pittsford. Any other things of note in your last week or the last couple of weeks of doing this you just want to thank or send out before we get the second half going?
No, I'll just say I plan on getting out to a lot of games. I've been out to a lot of games already. It's been great meeting community members. Families have been coming up and introducing themselves. I encourage that. I'm going to be out and about trying to meet as many people as possible, and so it's been great. And I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you too.
Mr. Irving, we appreciate you coming up here
and
giving us a few minutes of your time.
Yeah. Best interview ever, Varsity Media. Look at that.
Oh, did you hear the title I just got? I'm going to wear that belt. Second half about ready to start. Talked about it a couple times, sir. We've got a matchup. This is kind of an insider football. We got two really excellent kickers out there tonight. Your guy can boom it.
Yeah, we definitely do. It's definitely a strength that we have as it goes out of the end zone there. And that's a real strength for high school programs. I was just talking to someone on the sideline. That wasn't always the thing even 10 years ago, where there was strength in field goal kicking and your punters. And as you can see, both teams have strong punters.
That ball just landed 9 yards deep in the end zone. We were watching your guy at halftime here, and he's putting 40-yard field goals. I mean, it was off a tee, but, 40-yard field goals with distance.
Yes.
Bombing these things.
Yeah, and it's such a weapon in high school sports.
McQuaid will start with the ball. They have the 14-0 advantage here. Pittsford has had a couple of big stops. McQuaid held to only, if you want to put it that way, 14 points in this first half. And now DeMarco brings his troops to the line. He is under center with Harding behind him. They give it to the senior running back. Getting into space, finding his way around and finding it burst. Trying to shrug off another tackle and a big first down gain. And I'm going to give credit to Owen Meyer on that one, as I said Harding before. Coach Sorensen returning to the booth. Despite my flub of the name, what a run by Meyer.
Caught himself a little off guard a little bit. He hasn't had those runs in the first half. But excellent run. Turned it upfield nicely in the hole.
A burst of speed through midfield, and now flags flying in. We got some laundry already.
Great interview with Dr. Irving.
Is definitely a man who is excited to get going in his new role, stepping in for Scott Barker, who was here a long time.
New role here in Pittsford, but Dr. Irving's been a big name in Section 5 in the athletic director world coming from Gates and also at the state level.
Here's another run to the left. This time we do have Harding. Harding with a gain of about 7 or let's say 8 yards there. Rennick on the tackle at the end. This is going to bring up a quick, we're only a minute into this half here, 2nd and 2 from inside the 40. Now the McQuaid offense comes to the line in stages once again. DeMarco moving his team with some pace here. DeMarco fakes the handoff, rolls, lobs one over, got his man into space with another big reception. Dan Geen.
Got a personal foul, roughing the passer, I believe they called.
Flag well into the backfield. Here it is. Personal foul against the defense, right where Coach said.
This is going to be maybe debatable, the way I saw it live. You know?
He tried to give up. He did.
He didn't
that
wrap
ball's
him.
Away.
I mean, the quarterback had a little hop on that throw. He was still kind of in the air when he got hit.
Renica with an excellent tackle at the end of that play. Now this penalty is going to tack on.
Might have been because he went towards the knees. I'm not sure. It could have been that reason. That could have been the reason.
Nevertheless, from the 17-yard line and with 3 receivers wide.
They're spread.
Putting the Smith in motion. Now the pitch. Moving to the left, trying to bounce around the outside. Harding couldn't bounce around the outside. Tackled. Nice piece of tackling down there. James Mobley
with an excellent tackle.
The freshman defensive back getting in there.
Shed the blocker and got low on the tackle.
So 2nd and 10 coming up here. 17-yard line here for McQuaid. DeMarco, quick hit out. Finds Harding. Harding will get shoved out of bounds. Might have gotten 2 yards. Pushed out around the 15-yard line.
Harding's just such a huge percentage of the McQuaid offense, whether he's running or going out wide as a receiver.
You heard the in-house voice from above. Preston and Mobley both in on the tackle. Both freshmen playing up. Both very talented young men playing up on this Pittsford team. Now DeMarco. Bunch to his right. He's going to roll to his right. He's gotten to Smith in the flat. He's throwing it into the end zone, though. Finds his man. Touchdown! A great throw to JPG and 40. G and 40, great route. Through the middle to the right into a seam. And what a ball from DeMarco. Pending the extra point here, 20-0 McQuaid. Sansone on for the point after. Ball is snapped, ball is down, ball's up and good.
Very good.
Here's a look at the touchdown.
Out of this bunch set, McQuaid is thrown every single time, and it's always a rollout to the right. And DeMarco has been pretty much on target. That's the first time they went deep. It's usually the underneath pattern that he's hit. And they hit the deeper pattern for the touchdown.
Great hands from G and 40. Now, we had said it before. I think the term I used, this crowd is ready to come alive. If you're Pittsford, you want to do that now. Now, our next Varsity Media broadcast.
That's a big one.
SPORTSCAST. That is a fun matchup in Section 5 athletics. Webster Schrader versus Webster Thomas. That'll come to you from Webster Schrader High School. I'll have that one for you in a couple of weeks. I'm excited to call that one. That is a huge rivalry. They got big rivalries all over Monroe County, but two high schools that share a town. That'll be a fun one.
In-town rivalries, there's not much bigger than Thomas versus Schroeder.
Kickoff coming your way here with a McQuaid lead of 21-0 over Pittsford. Tumbling kick finds its way into the hands of Renica, who's going to break into some space.
24.
Deshaun Preston
almost busted that through.
There's another look at it right here. Preston, a kid that we noticed last week in the game against Hilton, has some real speed. You get this young man into space, he's going to find a ways to go.
Found the hole and then kicked it out right.
Shrugged away from that first tackle.
It's a great tackle.
Nick Frontudo takes him down there. Now Pittsford with a good drive start right here. Their own 42-yard line. Handoff is to Joyner. Joyner looking to cut left. Took that handoff from Johnny Moore. Moore, one of the 4 young men who have taken snaps today for this Panthers team. He took the first one a couple of quarters ago, and now he starts the second half in the shotgun as well. Renica split wide. Moore gives to Joyner once again.
No gain on that play.
Raymond in on the tackle with Wilson Raymond, the senior tackle. Now a third down play. Trying to stutter on this snap here. Moore's going to turn and fire it. Left-hand line drive throw. Can't find Renica.
Renica was there. Second earlier, he was open. Just a late getting the ball there.
Maybe the slightest bit of frustration from the senior wide receiver as well. Noise on to punt. Palladino and Harding back deep. Noise with an impressive leg. We've had a couple opportunities to say that today, kicking and punting. Right foot into one, bombs one. That is a heck of a kick. Hits at the 7 or 8 yard line.
55-yard punt.
That ball got out there. Now Pittsford will look to make a stop here. McQuaid look to extend this lead.
McQuaid truly flexing what we thought they could be right now. And Pittsford giving it all, but they already went into this game minus one important player, Luke Fliss, going into the game. And in that second quarter, we did see Jackson Burness go off the field, and I don't see him that he has returned either.
Now a big run opening up 9 yards or so. Xavier Cox, your ball carrier.
Some different names now for McQuaid.
Close to first down yardage. Palladino, Cox, Geen split wide, all left of DeMarco on our side of the field over here. Harding in the backfield with DeMarco. Harding gives. DeMarco into traffic. Might have pushed ahead for the yard he needed.
It looks like they're marking it as a first down.
Pollard in there, flying in from the defensive backfield was Couch. Now DeMarco in no hurry to get his play call in here. Clock moving with 6.5 to play here. McQuaid with a 21-0 lead.
They'll use all of the play clock.
Once again, Cox and Geen split wide to the left. DeMarco's going to
fire over the middle, misses his intended target. Couldn't quite find all 6'5" of Palladino.
Great pressure by Pittsford. They almost got at DeMarco. You know, let that ball maybe go a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
There's another look at it. Zingza couldn't quite get it into Palladino's hands.
He's a big target, 6'5".
So now a 2nd and 10 here. DeMarco once again in the shotgun. Looking to run it himself. Tries to does slip inside. Shrugs off a tackle. There's another something out of nothing play. DeMarco with a gain of 8. A lot of yards after contact there.
Right, there was a chance to really keep it to limit to a 1 or 2 yard gain, but he broke the tackle. Good downfield blocking at the same time. But right there, they could have stopped him inside the 35. Instead, he gains an additional 5.
I feel like I've said this a couple times today. Renica with a nice tackle at the end.
Unfortunately, he's playing safety, so if he's making your tackles.
Yards have occurred. Quick pass from DeMarco, complete. And now moving into space, shrugging off a tackle. That's the theme here, Meyer.
Great run after catch.
Meyer brought down at the end by Zach Gerby. Denning in there with. And now a first down for McQuaid, crossing midfield into Pittsford territory. Here's another look at the last play. Meyer shrugs off that tackle. I said it in the call of that play. That has been a theme here. The last couple of plays, last 2 or 3 or 4 yards after contact for this McQuaid team.
5 Pittsburgh players had a chance to make a tackle on that play.
DeMarco puts a foot down, puts his man in motion. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, sets, turns to his left, lobs one up into the air. He's got Harding out there. Harding comes back to find it. Harding turning on a little bit of speed, and he's gone. Touchdown, McQuaid. Harding moved to his right into space where DeMarco had lobbed that ball. DeMarco threw his receiver open, and Harding did the rest.
Quite a game for Harding. It's both running and catching.
Harding with a 46-yard reception. You hear the traveling on the extra point that sails through, giving us the 28-0 score here. You hear the student section from McQuaid making some noise in the stadium tonight. Here is a look at this pass.
Fakes the handoff to Harding. He goes out to the left flank and then turns it upfield.
That off-balance throw off his back foot sailed 45 yards.
Tough coverage for the freshman Mobley. He was chasing right from the very beginning, and then when Harding went to turn it upfield, there was just no chance. Got a player from Pittsford down. Looks like a cramp.
With that, we're going to keep an eye on this young man, hope he's okay, and we're going to break here from Pittsford. Right now, your score, McQuaid 28, Pittsford 0. You're watching this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Feel like you're
back for some third quarter action here. McQuaid and Pittsford AA football. Bill Smith with Steve Sorensen. This is the ensuing kickoff after McQuaid scores on the 46-yard TD reception to Harding. Kickoff coming Preston, not a clean handle, but he's got it. Preston trying to find that seam right there and then swarmed. The hole was there for a brief second.
And then there were 8 McQuaid players there.
Preston is a player, once again, I'll mention it. This is a freshman playing on varsity. This kid's got some burst. So now 28-0 is your score. Pittsford looking to start the wheels turning here, looking for an answer.
They really need just something positive to take place here. A couple first downs, be able to move the ball. I guess Shatters back in a quarterback, the sophomore.
Nate Cole thoroughly leading their troops out. This big offensive line looking to help lead this right here. Shatters fires to his right. Skitters it shorter of the intended receiver, Timmy Lewis. Davis coming off of James Davis, the offensive lineman, coming off of a good performance last week against Hilton in there as well, looking to keep Shatters under protection. Luke Connors checking in.
Might be the first time in the game. Some different players getting some opportunity.
Shatters gets the snap. Gives to the aforementioned Connors. Connors looking to get to the outside and a great tackle.
I think we saw some of the speed from Luke Connors. I think that's what he was in for.
Thomas Bailey with an excellent tackle.
McQuaid matched the speed, though.
Connors was flying to that left edge but couldn't quite get past. Gain of a generous 1 yard here brings up a 3rd and long 9 or 10.
9.5.
Well, I like your style, Coach. Shatters once again. Shotgun snap. Takes a snap, rolling immediately to his right. Looking, finding Renica near the edge. Clock still moving, and it's complete for a first down.
Nice play. Shatters' best throws have been when he's rolled out and he's on the move. That first down play, he just dropped back and he hopped it to his wide receiver.
Nice to see Renica on the field. We saw him getting some treatment during the timeout after the touchdown. Shatters in the shotgun once again. Preston into motion. Gave us to Joyner. Joyner puts his shoulder down. That's been the very common running play with Joyner today.
The space just hasn't been there. It's kind of surprising with the size that Pittsford has up front, but that's also a credit to McQuaid and their defensive line.
2nd and 9. Sophomore quarterback Josh Shatters here. 3 receivers split wide. 2 close to our position. He puts Preston in motion. Goes from right to left. Turns, fires, finds Renica once again. Renica across the 40 might have enough for a first down. It's going to depend on the spot.
Looks like it's a first down. They're moving the chains.
Camarello, the junior defensive back, on the stop. Shane Gang moves things along, and as Coach mentioned, we have a first down.
That's been the most successful play for Pittsford is they have to respect Renica's speed, so they're dropping off quite a bit, and he's just stopping at 10, turning for the ball, and it's there.
Lewis on the far side. Preston in motion once again.
It's a hitch
now
and go.
Pump fake deep for Renica. Can't quite connect with him.
It's a nice play. McQuaid had seen that little 10-yard hitch, and this time they went for the hitch and go, and Renica was available, and I think it was a good throw. It's a tough one to catch.
Good look at the young quarterback there via our cameraman.
There it is, the DB back that bites on it.
Had him over the top, and Renica does everything he can, just missing.
Senior would like to have that one back.
And now a 2nd and 10. Preston in motion once again. And he's given the ball, kind of bounced around out of his arms. He had to sort of come back to it, found his footing in a different place. Before he could turn back to his right, he got swarmed. Officials, though, having a conversation. An illegal shift. Maybe that last movement from Preston was not by the book.
I think that's declined. They'll leave it at 3rd and 12. Discussing it now.
Coach Bates definitely debating this one, but looks. There's the illegal shift, and it is declined. Okay. Now a 3rd and 13 coming up here for the Panthers. Shatters once again will take the shotgun snap. Let's press it in motion once again. Tries to give it to him. Now another fumble. Shatters recovers, running to his right, lobbing it downfield. He's just going to get rid of it. That's the right move there.
That ball's gotten slippery. Like we've talked about the turf and the sheen that we have on. Then right now you can see it on the screen. It's that evening dew, and I think it's getting onto the ball, and we've seen bobbled snaps and bobbled handoffs, and it's really affecting the really consistency of the play.
Joe D'Amico in there seeing some action today. There you get a look at Dan Geen getting ready for this punt formation defensively.
55 yards last time into the end zone.
Harding and Palladino deep. Another good kick, tumbling end over end into Palladino's arms. Palladino finds a hole, shrugs away from a tackle, and gets brought down just across midfield. Palladino with that return is going to give McQuaid a real good drive start inside Pittsford territory with just over a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Now, I think if you're Pittsford at this point, nothing is over in sports until it is over. But you're looking to find, we used the word earlier in the broadcast talking about keys and looking for today's themes and consistency, trying to find little elements that they can be consistent about. Short gain by Nesmith, tackled right near the line of scrimmage. I might not even use the word gain.
It's obvious McQuaid's good. 4-time Section 5 champion. They've coming out. They had a dominant victory last week. They're dominant again here tonight for Pittsford. It's a tough call. They've already lost going into the game. Fliss, they're already down one of their top players with Burness. They've got to find some positive things. I think they're seeing some of it. They've got some freshmen that are contributing. They've got a sophomore in Shatters who's doing a nice job throwing the ball.
Nesmith gets to the edge for a gain of about 5.
We've seen Preston and Mobley provide some spark for Pittsford.
Zach Couch, the fullback, doing a nice job of lead blocking there, helping to create some space for Nesmith to get to the edge. Now here's DeMarco with Nesmith in the backfield. 3rd and 5. Big situation here for Pittsford. Stop here. Now into the backfield, under pressure, firing. DeMarco finds his man, but incomplete.
He was there. I think the throw was a very nice throw. Should have been caught, but
Xavier Cox saw this one hit him right in the hands. Here's another look. Pushing through, barreling through. Great pressure from Pollard.
That's a good throw.
Maybe just a smidge behind, but that's a heck of a ball. Great pressure from the senior defensive tackle, defensive lineman Bradley Pollard. And now McQuaid will punt it away. Short kick, which takes a Pittsford bounce and will be down near the 30-yard line. Getting his hands onto there, Anthony Camarella. Junior gunner on that one. And now with a very short 3.9 seconds till the end of the third quarter, Pittsford will take over down 4 scores. But again, looking to build on some momentum, looking to find some consistency. And without anything other than assumptions, I would assume Shatters will see under center once again.
He's out there. 3 wide outs.
Renica closest to our position here in the press box. Shatters. Handoff gets snuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Some pushing and shoving. Joyner was taken down by Begman. And those last couple of seconds here have ticked away. And at the end of the third quarter, the visiting McQuaid Knights lead the Pittsford Panthers 28-0. Folks, we got one more quarter of AA football coming your way here from Pittsford. Stay with us. You can come back and see all of this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events. Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050. Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Welcome back to Pittsford Southern High School. Fourth quarter coming your way. Pittsford looking to move the ball, get something going here. McQuaid leading. Shatters rolling to his right, firing ball into the turf. Bit short of Sam Renica.
I think Shamir Bridges got the pressure on him. Very tough to complete that throw.
Shatters pressed into action tonight. Part of it stemming from the injury to wide receiver Luke Fliss. Different offensive packages, different formations. Some of it now. Jackson Burness going down earlier in this game. Pittsford has used a number of different gentlemen under center. The sophomore now finds himself there. Puts Preston in motion. Turns left, fires, finds his man. Complete to Timmy Lewis. Down there, Dan Geen.
One of the things we talked about before the start of the game was that Pittsford will throw 4 different guys under center. They'll give it a lot of different looks. Well, because of injuries going into the game and during the game, they've not been able to show that kind of variety here tonight.
Now on a 4th and 6. You got Noyes back on there looking to punt it away. Noyes, right foot, bombs one. Spiraling kick, fair catch being called and received by Palladino. Gunners were down there.
About a 39, 40-yard punt. with no return in the high school game. That's big.
That's impressive. Eric Chen, holder of an impressive tackle earlier in the game on a punt, was down there right as Palladino brought that one in. So in their relatively one-sided victory last week, McQuaid started working in different personnel, different players. We may start to see that, and maybe on cue, I see now a quarterback, Bryson Palladino.
And Nesmith is in the backfield. We're going to see a steady diet of running plays here.
And the Smith, the handoff. Bangs off of a tackle. Liam Brett met him right there.
Renica finished that off.
Renica with the finishing touches there. Brett holding him up. McQuaid working in, again, some different personnel. Aiden Jones and Cooper Conda still among the anchors on that real strong offensive line.
We give Coach Bates some credit here. He's going to use the entire play clock. They're not looking to run it up. They've already got a 28-0 lead. You're not going to see him run a play outside of 5 seconds on a play clock.
Palladino pitches into Smith, who's looking to get to the left edge. He's got a first down and a couple yards more. First down. Clock stops as he gets shoved out of bounds around the 38-yard line. Mobley shoved him there at the end. Here's a peek at it.
Look at the blocking on the outside.
I want to give Bradley Pollard some credit. He was in the backfield yet again, bursting through the middle of that line, just couldn't get to Nesmith.
Couch doing a nice job in the lead block for Nesmith.
Back to us right there. You see Jamar Friesen seeing some action today. Senior defensive back. And now Nesmith gets to the right edge. And a little shove there at the end from Renica puts him out of bounds. And Nesmith with another first down. Ethan Langstein.
Got a little too far upfield on that.
Helping to hold down that line here for Pittsford. Ari Goldstein right there in the middle as well. Handoff is to Nesmith once again. Shrugs off a tackle. Gets to the right side. Renica with a tackle at the end.
Cannot understate what Renica's doing here tonight. I mean, he's down again. He had problems with cramps earlier. It looks like, we hope it's just a cramp again.
Nesmith shrugs off the tackler there. Langstein closed on him well, but Nesmith got away.
Yep, it's a calf cramp. Trader's out there stretching.
Coach, you've coached the varsity level in Monroe County. When you're talking about cramping on a cool, cold night like this, is that worse than a super hot night? Or is pain pain?
Pain is pain. Cramps are the worst. You know, it feels like you're being stabbed in that calf for right now for Renica. Give him credit, though. He cramped earlier. He worked it out, gave it another shot. My guess is the way he's limping right now with a cramp, he may be done for the night. And that's okay. He's played an excellent game here tonight.
Tough kid, and he's got a long season in front of him. Checking in John Hallstad, sophomore defensive back, now in that safety position. Palladino under center. Gave it to Nesmith once again. Meets a handful of tacklers near first down yardage. It looks like he's going to pick it up.
Clock is rolling. 9 minutes to go in the fourth.
Pollard given credit. I think Timmy Lewis was there at the end as well. Palladino, as Coach mentioned a couple of minutes ago, in no hurry. Play clock is at 15. He's still getting signals from the sideline. We are under 9 minutes here with a 28-0 Knights lead. Palladino under center. Givison to Smith. Met behind the line of scrimmage. Good push on that play from the Pittsford defensive line. Langstein getting there. Brady Harema is in there now, part of that McQuaid offensive line.
Rotating guys in and out. Again, I said it earlier, but give McQuaid credit. They're not running a play unless they're inside of 5 seconds on the play clock.
Palladino's going to look to throw. Under pressure, lobs one downfield, is going to sail out of bounds over the head of his intended target. That was Nico Seppin.
Good pressure.
Freezing in coverage down there.
3rd and 12.
Now Palladino, the senior backup, on a 3rd and 12. I can't imagine McQuaid calls in anything too dangerous here. And there's the pitch. Pressure in the backfield, trying to wrap him up, trying to finish, dragging still.
Blow the whistle. Oh.
Finally throwing him down was Pollard. Gave Pollard some praise a few minutes ago. He got in there to blow that up, and they did throw a flag. I'm going to assume this is...
Oh, it's unnecessary roughness.
Heat of the battle. Is he not hearing the whistle? Is he just going?
As soon as he had a handful of jersey and he spun them once, we can't hear a whole lot up here, but the whistle should be blown.
Yeah.
And maybe we stop, but, you know.
Here it is right there.
Blow the whistle there. It may have been, but it looks like it hasn't, and now it just.
And there's the flag, yep. Jackson Natapow, the junior running back, on that carry right there.
But it's a spot foul, so it is still 4th down. It's not an automatic first like in the high school game.
Chris Mabelis in there as well on the offensive line. Will Newbecker. Palladino fumbled the snap. Not a clean exchange there from under center. Recovers, but this is going to be a turnover on downs. Pittsford is going to take over with a little over 7 minutes of play here in the 4th quarter. So, Coach, if you're Pittsford here, I feel like we had a similar conversation at the beginning of the last drive. String a couple first downs, find some rhythm. Maybe get looks at some other guys, but build here. Use these moments.
And there's a lot of things you can work on, but I would say for Pittsford, having just brought up Shatters this week, with every snap that he gets, with every bit of experience he can get on the football field right now, can only benefit him later on. He looks to be the quarterback who throws the most and most accurately for Pittsford. And he looks like he may be the future at the quarterback position. So this is all experience for the future.
Morel Cleggett right there, just off the line to Shatter's right. He's got Joyner behind him. Now a whistle before the play starts.
Delay of game.
A delay of game to begin the drive. This will turn this now into a 1st and 15 for the sophomore quarterback.
That's a tough one, being the first play of the possession.
Shatters with Joyner behind him. Barks takes the snap, turns to his left, fires for Joyner. Joyner puts the brakes on, trying to cut back inside. Does find the slightest of spaces there. Maybe got about a yard and a half.
Not much.
Pillai in there on the stop. Elijah Winter still in there helping to hold down this offensive line for Pittsford. James Davis still holding it down. Shatters with Joyner in the backfield. Preston in motion. Shatters is going to throw. Tries to roll. He's going to get wrapped up and dragged down. It's a nice piece of tackling right there from Mario DeLeo.
DeLeo with a nice sack.
Mariano DeLeo. Shatters looked to break free there, but couldn't quite get away. DeLeo drags him down.
Preston struggling coming out the field.
Looks maybe to be some more cramping.
It looks like another cramp, yeah.
I hope all these young men are all right. Johnny Moore trots back onto the field. Moore gives to Joyner, who's wrapped up immediately.
Wrapped up by several McQuaid Knights.
Dan Cohen and Nate Cole still in there, also holding it down on the offensive line for these Pittsford Panthers. A long fourth down is going to bring the very talented Philip Noyes back onto the field for another Panther punt. We saw different points during the sportscast here. Schedule's going ahead. Pittsford's going to come off of this one and travel to Aquinas next week, an always game Little Irish. Look at this ball, way up, spinning. Palladino throws up the fair catch.
He had some space, but when that ball's been up there for 6 seconds, you just assume.
That was some very impressive hang time right there.
Professional hang time right there.
So Pittsford will travel to Aquinas next week against, again, an always game Little Irish. And they come back here for a matchup with a very talented UPrep team.
UPrep, who was ranked number 1 going into AA last year.
We need to mention Pittsford upset in just a physical, outstanding 6-0 game last year in the AA semifinals. McQuaid on the heels of this one. They will take on Pittsford next week as Palladino backs up, throws incomplete.
A little surprised they're throwing on first down with a 28-0 lead.
Maybe trying to see what they have there, although with a senior quarterback, maybe they might know.
Right. I mean, you want kids to have opportunities, and I understand that, but we're inside of 5 minutes to go in the fourth, 28-0 lead. Clock's your friend.
Chris Mabelis centers it. Snaps to Palladino. Gave us to Natapau.
Gain 2.
John Rubert with the tackle. Gets a couple of shouts from below. Rubert, the junior defensive lineman. Caleb Bascom getting some time in there as well, the junior on that line. Palladino takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and now just pitches it away, but they're going to call that incomplete. Under pressure from Friesen.
Great pressure by Friesen.
Nice play there from the senior defensive back. Quickly, a fourth down here. Sansone puts a foot into one. Takes a huge McQuaid bounce.
Kirby picks it up.
And is absolutely swarmed down there by a very fast coverage team.
Pick one.
It's been a theme today. A very, very fast coverage team.
Yeah, there's McQuaid's good, and they're fast.
So the next broadcast here on Varsity Media, a couple of weeks, Friday Night Lights, Webster Thomas, Webster Schrader. That will be a fun one. We mentioned it before. Always a good matchup here. One of the biggest rivalries in Section 5. Two teams that share a town. That'll be a fun one coming from Webster Schrader High School. I'll be on that call with you in a couple of weeks' time. Hope we can get you all to stick with us that night and watch this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Those crosstown rivalries, if nothing else, they're just fun. They're just fun. The crowds that get into it, and everybody shows up. There's bragging rights are on the line as much as a win on the field.
Now another stack formation with two wide. This is an interesting set here for Pittsford. Shatters is going to lob one, finds his man. Gets into space to Preston.
Preston, who last time we saw him, he was working out a cramp.
Good long reception here, moving the ball. Under 3.5 to play here. Pittsford looking to do some good things here to close this one out. Shatters rolling right. Firing. Gets it in there.
Gets the catch.
Completion. Zach Gerby.
Shatter's done a real nice job rolling out to his right on those throws. Flag on the play.
Do have a late flag coming in, yep.
Looks like they're coming back.
Luke Wimay is in there. So a hold's going to wipe out that completion. Mentioned them a whole bunch tonight, but that Pittsford line still holding strong.
Pittsford's going to come out throwing on this one again.
Preston and Lewis split left closest to us. Shatter's going to look toward Preston. It's picked off into the hands of Nick Frontudo. He's going to move all the way to the left side of the field and get dragged down. Yanked to the turf by James Davis.
That's a difficult throw he tried to attempt there, dropping it over the linebacker in front of the safety.
Another peek.
Just sailed just a little bit.
Coming in and taking that one was Nick Frontudo, the senior defensive back. And then he gets pulled down at the end. And now taking over with under 3 minutes to play here and continuing with a big lead, the McQuaid Knights. Much like we just said with Pittsford, and I know we're looking at a second team, third team sort of look here from McQuaid. Try to just do some nice things, try to see what they have here in the closing minutes of this one. Palladino hands it off, bursting through the line. into space. Natapau on that carry. John Rubert. And a shout comes up from...
We're just running the clock. That's all they're doing.
Natapau with a nice burst. We've talked about, the different weapons that this McQuaid team has, and you see everything that Harding can do. We've been impressed with him all night. Then you see what Nesmith can do. Now we're seeing what Natapau can do. There's just depth.
So I guess technically he's your third-string running back with Nesmith with 3 touchdowns last week. It's Addison and Natapau now hitting the hole hard.
Natapau gets
He's a junior.
Natapau gets a tap on the head there from Paul Rizzo, the junior fullback. Look at Coach Bates giving Harry Brickwood some instructions as he checks in, senior wide receiver. Some confusion on what McQuaid might do, but this looks like it might be a victory formation.
Victory formation. I guess, it would go without saying, but we're going to say it looks like McQuaid might be the class right now of AA. Pretty dominant. If this ends the way it is right now, which way it does look like it will, 28-0 here, 49-0 last week, 77-0 through the first 2 games. Haven't been scored upon yet.
They've had a good start.
I'm sure that's going to be the talk around AA is McQuaid again, if it hasn't been already.
Now, Pittsford, it's been said, different outlets, we've said it. We said it last week. Their opening schedule is, the word you used before, is a gauntlet. They see some very good teams, especially the first 4 weeks of the year.
Right.
There's never a night off in AA. But when you go from Hilton, the reigning A1 champions from last year, to the now playing the reigning AA champions from last year, Pittsford opened the season against 2 defending sectional champions. That's a rough start.
It's a rough start against two teams that are sectional champions, but well coached, legendary coaches in both programs. I'm sure they would have loved to have stolen at least one of these, but again, they know this is the toughest part of their schedule and toughest part of the year is right here in the beginning.
But if you're Pittsford, you saw some good things. I think Josh Shatters, there's some good things to work on there. If Jackson Burness stays healthy, we've seen some dynamite play out of him. We saw a real nice game from Sam Renica.
Couple freshmen with Preston and Mobley contributing on a varsity team. That's impressive.
I'm going to once again shout out, and I might give this my unofficial player of the game for Pittsford, to Bradley Pollard. That kid had a dynamite game. That penalty near the end notwithstanding, we saw him in the backfield quite a bit, played really, really well. And on the other side of the ball, Coach, I think we saw an awful lot of talent from this McQuaid team. We know the talent of Harding. We saw it on display tonight. We know what DeMarco's capable of. He had a couple of real big touchdown passes.
DeMarco played well. We don't have the stats here with us, but Harding had easily 50 yards passing, over 50 yards receiving, and at least that much in rushing with a couple touchdowns. He ran the first touchdown in, and then also on a receiving touchdown in the second half. So Harding's the real deal.
And I think something that I'm impressed with, we mentioned it earlier more than once, against a very strong, tough, physical Pittsford defense, the yards after contact, the amount of tackles that the McQuaid runners at all sides, even right near the end, we talked about it with Natapau, shrugging off tackles and pushing through and getting those yards after contact, that was really impressive.
We saw it throughout the entire game, but at whatever level, whatever string, the culture of McQuaid, where they have players who are committed, that don't go down after one touch. We saw it throughout every level of their experience of their players. These guys just they first hit, no one's going down. They're just taking hits and getting more yards after the catch, after first contact. It's a program and a half that Coach Bates has.
The reigning sectional champs in AA move to 2-0. The reigning runners-up in AA move to 0-2. Both teams will look to get moving again next week in Week 3. I want to thank everybody out there for watching this evening. I'm Bill Smith with Coach Steve Sorensen. I want to thank
Joel over here pushing the buttons. John and Ryan doing all the camera work, all these shots. We can't see this game without their work. Can't see any of this without Joel pushing the buttons here in the command center. I want to thank everybody. And on behalf of the Varsity Media Sports Network, we want to thank everybody out there for watching tonight. One last time, McQuaid 28, Pittsford 0. I am Bill Smith with Steve Sorensen, and you have seen all of this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.